Coming up, authorities bring federal charges of aggravated possession of child pornography against an Afton, Oklahoma man.
Plus, the Skywatch storm tracker quiet now, but that'll be changing. We'll go into those details coming up.
And Oklahoma takes a look at its population and business growth and how it can fill existing and future jobs in the state as September kicks off Workforce Development Month.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is 5 a.m. I'm Tanya Buck.
I'm Chris Warner. It is a finally Friday in the 4 states.
It sure is Friday.
And we've got some of our first Friday night football games taking place tonight. It is hard to believe it is already that time of the year. Kind of crazy. This year's going by a little bit quicker. But I mean, honestly, the last couple of years have just kind of been a blur. Like the great storm of the winter storm in February of 21 feels like it was a lot further away than just a year and a half ago. It seems like it's been 2 or 3 years since that happened. So it's been a chaotic couple of years.
Yeah, it's hard to think of something so cold and icy and stuff when we've had such hot weather.
Yeah, it is hard to imagine, but it did happen. It really did happen. But Tanya, you're absolutely right. We've got hot weather, and it's going to stay that way for a few days. Skywatch storm tracker, as I mentioned, is pretty clear around our area. We're waiting for a cold front associated with that low pressure system over South Dakota that is eventually going to set off some thunderstorms. Now, we may see some later today. We'll talk about that here in just a few minutes. 68 in Joplin right now. Clear skies to start the day, but we're going to have increasing clouds as we go through the day. Take a look. We are warmer than yesterday for sure. 68 Yates Center and Chanute, 69 in Iola, 70 in Fort Scott and Nevada, and 66 down in Neosho to start the day. As the kids get on the bus about 7 a.m., it's going to be right around 66 with some partly cloudy skies, and by the time that bus comes home around 3, it's going to be hot, 91, but mostly cloudy skies by the time they get off the bus. Here's what we're looking at today. We're talking an afternoon high of 94, getting there gradually with increasing cloud cover. And then this evening, there may be an isolated pop-up storm or two across the area. Nothing major tonight, but that'll change as we head into the weekend. As we go overnight, we're going to gradually drop back down, but not as much. 77 at 11, 73 by 2 a.m. Clouds sticking around, the overnight low of 71, and we're still watching those storm chances as they increase this weekend, but the temperatures have gone up a bit this weekend too. We're looking at 98 Saturday, 96 on Sunday. Better chances for storms on Sunday. It looks like Saturday is going to be more of a scattered to maybe even isolated thunderstorm event, and then as we head into Sunday, we've got better chances for storms. We'll talk more about those incoming storms, what rainfall amounts look like right now, and how the 7 days shaping up here in a few minutes.
All right, got a lot to discuss, and we'll get there.
We certainly will.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, authorities bring federal charges against an Afton, Oklahoma man in a child pornography case. In May of 2021, Glen Nichols was arrested in Delaware County on charges of aggravated possession of child porn and distribution of child porn. According to court documents, an investigation opened after an internet company flagged images of child exploitation. Nichols was convicted and sentenced to 10 years. Last week, he was charged in federal court because the victims are members of the Cherokee tribe. Family and friends of Terrell Brooks Ellis II stood outside the Ottawa County Courthouse on Thursday to get justice for the inmate who died in custody in 2015. Ellis's mother, Shelley Bliss, filed a lawsuit against the Sheriff's Department in 2017, which is still in the court system and not resolved. In the lawsuit, Bliss alleges the nurse working for the jail did not provide medical care to her son.
We are here to protest all the deaths and that happened in Ottawa County, and this is also to help people that have been victimized here.
The protest will go again this morning in front of the Ottawa County Courthouse starting at 11 a.m. Coming up in our 6 o'clock show, KOAM's own Carrie Worthen takes us to Ottawa County for a closer look at this story. Excuse me. September marks Workforce Development Month. Don Morse, the director of Oklahoma Office of Workforce, says the state's population grew greatly during COVID, which helps with filling jobs. At the same time, there was a lot of business growth in the state, which requires employees. Morris says when people come in office, they don't realize how many jobs there are available for them to choose from. Their office also helps to pay for any training a job requires.
Helping a person train for the job they want and get it, and helping businesses get the person they're looking for, we believe those are two sides of the same coin.
According to Morris, at the moment, CDL truck driver is the most open job in the state of Oklahoma. Second most open job is a registered nurse. Coming up later in the show, our own Yana Hatula hits the road for Oklahoma to bring us a closer look at this story. Well, Visit Joplin launches a new website with a purpose to enrich guest experience. The website features more appealing and larger graphics, larger text prints, and improved ease of use. Officials say it helps promote tourism in the Joplin area.
The website is designed to give people the tourism information for Joplin, and our goal is always to get them to visit Joplin, but also come back more frequently and stay longer when they come. You know, a lot of our new residents in Joplin were guests first, and in a lot of cases that's the case that they went through visitjoplinmo.com to learn what we had to offer, and from there they plan their experience and visit Joplin.
Officials say the website is active, working, and free for all to use. The website is visitjoplinmo.com. Well, Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce and Crowder College celebrate the 5th anniversary of the Advanced Training and Technology Center. Partnership is geared toward developing the future workforce and helping new startups as they recognize past and present tenants and their stories. Officials say the pair have partnered up to train people for skilled jobs.
So what Crowder College does in the facility, we train welders, we have drafting, we've started a surge tech program, a lot of things that the community has asked us to do, and the Joplin Chamber allows us to use the facility for those classes.
Officials say in the past 5 years, 140 jobs have been created from the programs.
All right, so let's take a look down the road. Heading into Sunday, see we get a few more of these scattered thunderstorm chances building in by early Sunday morning. And they'll stick around. They're again scattered, but as we head into Monday, this is midnight Monday, you can see better storm chances start to build in, and then there will be a complex around Kansas City that's expected to surge south late Monday night into early Tuesday morning and make its way down here. Then we do clear out for just a little bit, but the other thing is it's going to get hot. Now, the rain amounts have been adjusted downward a bit, but of course we'll continue to watch the rainfall possibilities as we head into the weekend and into next week. And on the 7-day forecast, you can see where temperatures really heat up through the weekend, and they stay heated up with some isolated to scattered storm chances through most of next week. An eyelash fall off.
Oh.
It was extremely distracting because it was just dangling right there. Right there.
I think you got it.
I hope so. I have really long women-like eyelashes. I'm not kidding. Like, they're so long and they're so annoying, and I don't know how you women deal with that because they are really long. And our youngest, unfortunately, takes after me. He has huge eyelashes, really long ones.
And that's a look at this morning's top stories in weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, the Carthage Tigers have a reputation for a wealth of quarterback talent. This year, they're hoping to maintain that tradition as they kick off the 2022 season.
Plus, one school district in southwest Missouri brings corporal punishment back to the classroom. Now, some parents agree, others do not. We want to know what you think.
And one new medical study says a mild, non-invasive electrical current sent to the brain may help boost memory in some older adults. Details after the break. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back.
Well, Lebec County Grizzlies are just 7 days away from their season opener. The Grizzlies kick off their schedule next Friday on the road against the Circle Thunderbirds. Lebec County is aiming for a bounce-back season this fall. The Grizzlies were 0-9 last year, missing the playoffs for the 4th consecutive season. They dealt with a lot of injuries to a lot of different players last season, so they had to have a lot of young guys on the field. Those young guys are back, plus a good group of freshmen, and they're bringing the energy to this team in fall camp.
80% of our team are freshmen, sophomores. Okay, they're vocal. You know, they're not like normal freshmen. These guys want to win. You can tell that when they go out there. They're getting kids fired up through our drills. They want to win football games. They want to win football games now. It's just fun to watch them. I mean, these guys they're coaching each other out there a little bit, and that's the most exciting part.
They bring the energy every day. It's always something new. It's really refreshing for us because last year practices were kind of slow, but they're fast.
Being a part of that team also last year, we just really want the kids to know what winning feels like.
Well, the Carthage Tigers opened the football season at home today against Republic. This is a program under John Guidy that has always had a good quarterback. Alex Derryberry, Keith Guest, Zeke Sappington, Patrick Carlton, Caden Cabins, all good. And Carthage turns to senior Cooper Jadwin this year, hoping he's the next guy in a string of good players under center.
We've been pretty blessed, very fortunate to have some good kids come through. Certainly want leadership out of that spot. You want character. You want a kid who knows how to compete and wants to compete. You want a kid who not only wants to be good but make his players around him good. Obviously, having the ability to run or throw or do both is a key. Hopefully that's what Cooper gives us. We've had all different types of quarterbacks. You know, we've had the smaller, fast ones that could run. We've had kids that are a little taller and slender that could throw. We've had, Patrick was kind of a dual threat guy. He could run very well and throw the ball very well. Caden came in a year ago and could run the ball well. So it just got to get in the system. You have to know big picture and be able to perform at a very high level.
The Kansas City Chiefs wrapped up their preseason schedule last night. The Chiefs host the Packers in their third and final preseason game of the year. The Chiefs used the night to honor Hall of Fame quarterback Len Dawson, who passed away earlier this week. And they go on to win 17-10. Chiefs fans are used to seeing the dynamic duo of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, but it was Shane Buechele and Matt Bushman who stole the spotlight in this one when they teamed up for 2 touchdowns. The Chiefs will open up the regular season on September 11th on the road against the Arizona Cardinals. St. Louis Cardinals finish up their 5-game series with the rival Chicago Cubs on Thursday night. The two teams have split the first 4 games of the series, with the Cubs winning Wednesday night 7-1. So the Cards trying to rebound and take the series in the finale. Corey Dickerson, RBI single, scores a run. Dickerson goes 3 for 5 on the day. Next batter, Nolan Gorman, grounds one up the middle to score another. Cardinals go up 2-0 after 1. Then it was the Paul Goldschmidt show. In the 4th, Goldschmidt goes down the first baseline for the RBI single. That scores 2 to make it 5-2 St. Louis. 6th inning, Goldschmidt up again. He hammers this one up and out. Solo home run, his 32nd of the year. Pushes the lead to 6-2. Then, just for good measure, in the 8th with the runner on, another bomb for Goldschmidt. He goes 3 for 5, 2 jacks, 5 RBIs. Cardinals take the game and the series 8-3. Well, still to come, an unprecedented and disturbing situation in Ukraine as Europe's largest nuclear power plant temporarily lost power on Thursday amid weeks of shelling in the region. Plus, we're going to take another look at that forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. For a nice hot day today across the area. So let's cover what we are tracking. We do have increasing clouds today, maybe an isolated storm or 2 this evening. Some scattered storms on Saturday, but those should remain, believe it or not, mostly isolated. And then the storm chances start to increase Sunday and they carry on into next week. Skywatch Storm Tracker is clear right now. This low pressure system up here associated with a cold front that is going to be bringing us our rain chances in the next about 48 hours or so, the good rain chances. Right now, though, at 7th and Rangeline, we, for the moment, have clear skies, 68 degrees, warmer than what we were seeing yesterday. And you can see those warmer temperatures. We got 67 Fredonia, 68 Chanute, 70s in Fort Scott and Nevada, and 64 down in Anderson. Still not a bad start for an August day, but warmer than what we have been seeing. Now, as the kids get on the bus about 7 a.m., we're looking at 66, starting to see partly cloudy skies, and as they get off the bus, clouds increase. 91, though, as they head home under those mostly cloudy skies. And we're heading for an afternoon high today of 94, 87 at noon, 92 by 5, 86 by 8. And you see this little icon. There is the chance of some isolated pop-up storms this evening. Now, as we go through the overnight, that kind of clears out. The clouds don't. They really stick with us. 77 at 11, 73 by 2, overnight low of 71. And the scattered storm chances hang on into Saturday and Sunday. Now, the better chances right now are still looking to be Sunday, but an isolated storm or two cannot be ruled out Saturday, and it's a lot hotter too, 98 and then 96 on Sunday. Taking a look at the future tracks. This is Sunday morning. You can see where those storms start to pick up. We get a break in the afternoon, and then overnight more showers and thunderstorms build in. And there's the possibility of a complex developing right around the KC Metro that will surge south as we head into Tuesday. And then another brief break before we see more shower and thunderstorm chances, which you see on the 7 days. So you see where it heats up this weekend. Temperatures start to gradually come down as our rain chances increase. And then we just hang on to some scattered to isolated thunderstorm chances all the way through most of next week, and temperatures hovering right around that 70-degree mark as well. An old school discipline method is returning to some Missouri districts. Madison Horner spoke to parents and administrators at Cassville schools about its decision to bring back corporal punishment.
Cassville Superintendent Merlin Johnson tells me the policy change is a result of a survey sent out to staff, students, and parents in May.
One of the suggestions that came out was concerns about student discipline, and so we reacted by implementing several different strategies, corporal punishment being one of them.
Dr. Johnson says this change will give principals one more disciplinary option before students receive more serious punishments such as suspensions. Administrators say it would be the last resort for parents and faculty members if other means of discipline do not work.
It's something that we don't anticipate using frequently. This is an opt-in only option for parents. So anyone who disagrees with corporal punishment, they simply do nothing by not opting in.
Johnson says he understands there will be different views on this decision, and the district respects the opinions of parents who choose not to opt in. Parents like Kimberly Richardson, who says if a child is going to be punished, it should be up to the parents. She would also prefer the district continue with the other forms of discipline.
Like in-school suspension, that would be fine with me, or even out-of-school suspensions. I think those are just way better than corporal punishment.
Another parent, Dylan Burns, says he doesn't see a problem with corporal punishment and thinks every parent has the right to choose.
No matter what you choose, I think you need to sit down with your kids and choose what's best for you and your family and that fits your parenting style. And trust that everybody there at Cassville is not going to do anything that you don't want done to your child.
Now, corporal punishment is authorized by Missouri statute as an option for each local school district to consider if parents decide to opt in. That brings us to our something to talk about this morning. Would you allow a school official to spank your child? Yes or no? You can vote, KOAMnewsnow.com/vote. Do so in the app and take part in our discussion on Facebook. We're back with Healthwatch right after this.
Topping Healthwatch this morning, some non-invasive brain stimulation may help boost memory in older adults. And that's according to a new study involving mild electrical currents sent to the brain. Mandy Gaither has a look at the research and why health experts say the study's results are promising.
In the U.S., about 40% of people 65 or older have memory loss associated with age, but a new study suggests stimulating the brain with electrical currents may help improve memory.
This is really interesting research. A lot of people paying attention to this.
Researchers at Boston University sent low-dose alternating electrical current to two parts of the brain that are known for storing and recalling information.
They basically then gave people lists of words and asked them to remember those words, see how well they did.
In the Gamma group looking at longer-term memory, 17 out of 20 people studied who received current were better able to recall words from the beginning of the word test. In the Theta group aimed at short-term memory, 18 out of 20 people improved their ability to recall the words heard last.
Those are pretty significant improvements. The groups of people were 65 and older in both groups. They also had a sham group, which basically people put on a cap. They felt heat in the cap, but they did not actually have any current applied, and they did not see any benefit in that group. It is a frontier, I think, in brain medicine where we are actually able to now non-invasively create these changes in the brain.
While the results are promising, more research needs to be done.
How long do these changes last? How well does it work for everyone? We still don't know.
When the study improvements were most pronounced in people with the poorest memories, who researchers say would be considered to have mild cognitive impairment. Let's look at one of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
All right, quick check of that forecast. What we are watching today is increasing clouds, maybe an isolated thunderstorm, scattered storms on Saturday, and then thunderstorm chances increasing as we head into the weekend. So right now in Joplin, clear skies, not looking too bad. Temperatures aren't too bad either. A bit warmer than what we've seen lately. 68 to start the day in the city, and we've got 60s and even a couple of 70s up there as well. 70 Iola and Nevada, 67 Fredonia, and 66 down in Neosho. As the kids get on the bus this morning, we are looking at 66 by about 7 a.m. under partly cloudy skies, and then those clouds increase, mostly cloudy but still hot, 91 as they get off the bus. We're heading for an afternoon high of 94, 87 by noon, 92 by 5, and then those isolated storm chances later this evening are possible. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies, and mostly cloudy skies hang on through the night. 71, the ultimate overnight low, getting there gradually, and the scattered storms stick around Saturday and Sunday. Better chances on Sunday, but can't rule out an isolated storm or two on Saturday. 98 Saturday, 96 on Sunday, so staying hot. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Coming up, authorities bring federal charges of aggravated possession of child pornography against an Afton, Oklahoma man.
Skies are clear right now, but they are not going to stay that way. Your full forecast coming up.
And Oklahoma takes a look at its population and business growth and how it can fill existing and future jobs in the state as September kicks off Workforce Development Month.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is 5:31. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So for a half second, I thought that creature in our open there was capybara.
Oh.
And I realized, I'm like, no, wait, that's a beaver. What planet am I on? It's Friday. It's a finally Friday. And that you can tell, because why in the world would we have a capybara in our local news open?
We have a beaver, so who knows?
There are beavers around here in some places. I don't know of any capybaras, though. There's a capybara.
Do you run into a lot of beavers?
No, I have not encountered many beavers, but I also can't swim or anything like that, so I don't hang out around a lot of water areas. So
Fair enough.
I'm sure there
Fair
are
enough.
beavers out there. I just haven't seen any. So, yeah, anyway, that's my story. So Coke has been coming out with some new flavors.
Okay.
And I've got one. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Don't go anywhere. It's called, the wife bought it for me last night for this morning to keep me going on Friday. Okay. It's called Dream World. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not bad. I can't really identify the flavor specifically, but it's not bad. But here's the deal. They always put on their bottles, you know, and all of them do this. It says natural flavors. It doesn't go into detail, just natural flavors. So my question is, what is the natural flavor?
Right. Does it put you in a dream-like state? when
Maybe
you
that's
drink
why I
it?
thought that was a capybara instead of a beaver, because I'm entering a dreamlike state. But there's all sorts of it's interesting, you know, there used to just be, you had Coke and Pepsi and that was about it. And now you've got like all these different varieties and flavors of these things. So it's very interesting how they've come up with that. And my last story of this particular part of the morning is when I was a kid. I'm not kidding you. I used to think that if you mixed Coke and Pepsi together, that they would cancel themselves out because they were competing soda brands.
What is there to cancel out?
I don't know. They're different. I figured there was some kind of thing in them that would cause them to like reject each other like violently. So I never mixed the two. And you know, I got older and got smarter and took science classes and realized that's not how it works.
Why would you want to mix the two? Yeah.
Hey, but you know what else? That's true too. Why would you? I don't know. Something else that I learned in science class is a little bit of the weather, and I'm going to share some of that with you. We got clear skies right now in Joplin, 68 degrees, so not bad, but we're going to have increasing clouds a little later in the day. 70 Iola and Nevada, 67 in Columbus, and 64 in Grove. So as kids get on the bus around 7 this morning, we're looking at 66 with partly cloudy skies, and when the bus comes back home, we got mostly cloudy skies and getting hot, 91 by 3 o'clock. We're heading for an afternoon high of 94 under increasing clouds, which means by by the evening will be mostly cloudy. We're also watching maybe an isolated storm or two this evening. So do just keep an eye to the sky, especially since we've got Friday night football. Just be aware, be weather aware. Make sure the teams, coaches, they're weather aware because these are going to be isolated pop-up storms. So most of us will stay dry, but if you see lightning off in the distance, remember, lightning can strike upwards of 5, 10, even 15 miles from the parent thunderstorm. So play it safe. Be good. Take a few minutes if you need to, because they're going to be isolated. They're going to be pop-up. They won't last very long.
Just be safe.
Exactly.
There you go. All right. Thanks, Chris. Well, authorities bring federal charges against an Afton, Oklahoma man in a child pornography case. In May of 2021, Glen Nichols was arrested in Delaware County on charges of aggravated possession of child porn and distribution of child porn. According to court documents, an investigation opened after an internet company flagged images of child exploitation. Nichols was convicted and sentenced to 10 years. Last week, he was charged in federal court because the victims are members of the Cherokee tribe. September is the Workforce Development Month in Oklahoma. KOAM's Yana Hadula talked with officials who are trying to connect employers with employees.
Over the past 12 months, Oklahoma added 44,800 payroll jobs, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The state is trying to connect and fill the job vacancies.
We get those lists from businesses, and they appreciate our services of bringing people in to the workplace for them.
Oklahoma Workforce Development provides needed training for people looking for jobs.
Helping a person train for the job they want and get it, and helping businesses get the person they're looking for, we believe those are two sides of the same coin.
Morris says Oklahoma's population growth was big through the pandemic. At the same time, there's a lot of business growth that has open jobs.
There's still a large demand for candidates at most, if not all, of those plants and industrial parks that are hiring.
Both Morris and Johnson say currently there is a lot of competition over same jobs.
There's a lot of competition after COVID. Most of the companies and businesses hiring are competing with each other, so pay rate has become a big factor of who's going to get the strongest and best employees.
Morris has a solution for this.
The Northeast Workforce Board, they work with local colleges, community colleges, and career techs to say, how can you expand your programs to produce more people so that we're not all fighting over the same small group of people.
Morris says the rewarding part of the job is to see people see hope in their lives when they walk out from the office.
He was 21 and had spent most of his life since 12 behind bars. When he started welding for a company in Eastern Oklahoma, that CEO told me that he's probably the best welder he's ever seen. But those are the changes that can be made if people will come to us, let us help them.
In Pryor, Yana Hautala, KOAM News.
Sarah Johnson says the highest need in Northeast Oklahoma is for industrial workers.
Quick check of the weekend forecast. Watching some isolated storm chances Saturday, 98 for the high, 96 on Sunday with some scattered thunderstorms. And a quick check of that forecast, 7-day forecast rather, shows where the storm chances hold on at least through the end of next week. But they do keep temperatures decent. We just have to get through a few hot days, and then once the rain and clouds settle in, they bring temperatures down a bit.
Well, this morning we're discussing the return of corporal punishment. The school district in Cassville, Missouri is bringing back spanking as a form of punishment. The school adopted a policy this year of, quote, swatting buttocks with a paddle if other forms of punishment have failed, and parents opt in to allow it. Now, despite school officials saying this would be a last option, some parents don't agree with the decision. One parent said if a child is going to be punished, it should be up to the parents. Another said he did not see a problem with corporal punishment. As of 2016, school corporal punishment was legal in 19 states, and that includes Kansas and Oklahoma. Missouri and Kansas both will allow the option, as does Oklahoma. There you go. Though it is rarely used in the state, and the option is up to individual districts in Arkansas.
So that brings us to our something to talk about. Would you allow a school official to spank your child? Yes or no? So far, 65% of you say yes, 35% of you say no. Make sure you vote through our website, through the app, and of course, take part in discussion on our Facebook page. It's a tough question.
I think it's important to make clear, though, that it is up to the parents to decide.
Right. And
that one comment didn't quite make sense because, I mean, a parent can opt in and or opt out and say they don't want that
exactly.
as punishment.
And I think that is an
Yeah.
important distinction here. Is Cassville is not saying that we're simply going to do it, whether you like it or not. They're saying, look, if you are cool with us doing that, then, you know, we'll do it. And they also said it's after other alternatives have failed. So, you know, for some of the problem kids, maybe that's the way to do it, because I don't know about you, but getting a spanking from my dad was one of the most horrifying things in the world. I did not want to receive one from him, so I did everything I could to listen in the first place.
I remember touring the high school as a child back in my hometown in Jetmore, and my dad like pointed out this board that was on the wall. It was the paddle. It was the principal's paddle at the time. And if you got spanked, your name got written on the paddle.
And see, there's another thing. You don't want your name up on that. That shouldn't be a point of pride.
Sometimes it was for them.
You're like, look, that was me. Back in 1984, that was me right there. Let me tell you, that's a doozy of a story.
Okay, that might have been in the 60s, but okay.
Well, whatever.
Anyway, that's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News, an insect invasion ravages at least a dozen states, and some wildlife experts have a remedy that may surprise you.
Plus, we've got the news you need to know before you head out the door.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. Topping World Watch after weeks of shelling, Europe's largest nuclear power plant temporarily lost power on Thursday for the first time ever. President Biden spoke with Ukrainian President Zelensky, both urging Russia to withdraw from the facility. Deborah Petta has the details.
It's a historic first in all the wrong ways. The first time the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant has been completely disconnected from the grid. It was caused by a fire in a nearby coal station that cut off the plant's last remaining supply lines. A constant electricity supply is critical to cooling down spent nuclear fuel and avoiding a disastrous meltdown, says nuclear expert Hamish de Bretton-Gordon.
If the power goes off, we're then reliant on generators from fairly elderly diesel generators to run the safety systems. Once you lose the main power supply, you're almost in a two-engine aeroplane, which loses one engine, and then you're in a bad position.
Potentially a nuclear disaster. And Ukraine warns that Russia may be planning to divert power to Crimea. Zaporizhzhia was captured by Russia in March, but is still controlled by Ukrainian technicians. Russia and Ukraine have accused each other of shelling the site, which has been turned into a deadly front line. Ukrainians living in the shadow of the reactors have been running drills planning for the worst-case scenario. Everyone will die if there's a nuclear disaster, said Olena Sidoriakina. Not just us in Ukraine, the whole world.
International atomic energy agents have been asking for access to the plant, and Ukraine's energy minister says they could travel there in the coming days. That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be back with the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And a check of that forecast this morning, looking pretty good. We are watching the increasing clouds, maybe some isolated thunderstorms today, some scattered storms on Saturday, and then better storm chances Sunday and into next week. Temperatures right now looking good. We also have clear skies to start the day, so that's not bad, but they're going to change to mostly cloudy. 68 right now in Joplin. We've got 60s now across the board. Some of our 70s have cooled off. 68 Yates Center and Chanute, 67 in Columbus, 66 down in Neosho. As the kids get on the bus this morning, we are looking at 66 under partly cloudy skies by 7 a.m. and the clouds will really increase through the day. Mostly cloudy, but 91 this afternoon when they get off the bus. More of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. An Afton, Oklahoma man is now federally indicted in a child porn case. In May of 2021, Glen Nichols was arrested in Delaware County on charges of aggravated possession of child porn and distribution of child porn. According to court documents, an investigation opened after an internet company flagged images of child exploitation. Nichols was convicted and sentenced to 10 years. Last week, he was charged in federal court because the victims are members of the Cherokee tribe. Family and friends of Terrell Brooks Ellis II stood outside the Ottawa County Courthouse on Thursday to get justice for the inmate who died in custody in 2015. Ellis's mother, Shelley Bliss, filed a lawsuit against the Sheriff's Department in 2017, which is still in the court system and not resolved. In the lawsuit, Bliss alleges the nurse working for the jail did not provide medical care to her son. Protests will go again this morning in front of the Ottawa County Courthouse starting at 11 a.m. Murals are something drivers will almost always stop by to look at. Neosho offers this form of art on its pavilion, and the one you're seeing now was created by a Neosho resident herself. The murals are a symbol of what Big Spring Park has to offer. And officials with the City of Neosho and Missouri Department of Transportation will be celebrating the completion of Neosho's newest bridge with a ribbon cutting September 1st. Kohler Street Bridge will be completed with the ribbon cutting on August 30th, actually. An official says the original bridge was too low, which caused flooding concerns. So the new bridge has an arch to mitigate the issue. The ribbon cutting on August 30th will be held at 10 a.m. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
All right, we're starting with mostly clear skies this morning in the area, but those are going to quickly cloud up as the day goes on. 68 in Joplin right now. We've got 60s on the board, 67 for Donia and Parsons and Columbus, 66 Neosho, 64 Monette, and 65 in Cassville. As the kids get on the bus around 7 this morning, we're looking at 66 under partly cloudy skies, and then the clouds will continue to increase throughout the day. Mostly cloudy by 3, 91 when that bus brings them back home, so it's a hot one today. In fact, we're looking at reaching 94 for a high, 87 at noon, 92 by 5, and then maybe an isolated storm or two come 8 this evening. So if you do have any football games this evening, just make sure you're keeping an eye to the sky. The storms will be isolated, but they could be out there. 77 by 11, 73 by 2 a.m., a low of 71 under mostly cloudy skies again tonight as a precursor to more isolated to scattered storms on Saturday with a high of 98. Better storm chances Sunday with a high of 96, staying hot, and those storm chances stick with us as we head into the start of the next week as well. As you can see on the 7-day forecast, they hang on for a good while, but they do keep the temperatures a bit lower. More of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
An invasive insect is decimating ecosystems across at least a dozen states.
And has wildlife experts telling everyone to go out and kill them.
Ashley Strohmeyer has a look at the spotted lanternfly and how you can help put a stop to its spread.
They look like something from outer space, but while they're from this planet, the spotted lanternfly is not native to the U.S.
This is by far the worst. There's like those raining lanternflies when you walk outside.
The invasive species indigenous to China was first documented in Pennsylvania back in 2014. Since then, its population has only exploded, with the brightly colored babies growing up into these winged behemoths.
I just see them all over her deck and I just step on them.
And while biologists don't usually recommend destroying nature, wildlife authorities say if you see one, kill it.
The main strategy is to stop the spread.
The spotted lanternfly is not harmful to humans, but they're causing catastrophic damage as they suck the sap from fruit trees and grapevines.
If enough of them are on the plants feeding, they can actually basically suck all the life force out through that sap.
So far, the Department of Agriculture has reported the insects in at least 12 states, including Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, Ohio, Indiana, and West Virginia. Officials advise using insecticide or wrapping trees with nets to prevent the bugs from landing on them. And while glue traps are also effective, make sure to cover them in wire to prevent birds from also getting stuck.
Get their feathers caught, they can injure themselves, even break their own bones trying to get free.
If you're planning a trip to the outdoors before summer ends, environmentalists say check your belongings and car for spotted lanternflies so you don't carry them to new areas. Ashley Strohmeyer, Fox News.
Thank goodness they're not telling us to go out and kill the green lantern. I had to do it. Had to do it.
I don't think that you could, though. He's a superhero.
I know.
I mean,
well, maybe we need to enlist his help here.
That's a possibility. Maybe he'd be able to weed out more of the lanternflies.
They look like little spotted moths.
Yeah, they do. When they're all grouped together, they look absolutely disgusting. Oh, I hate that. I hate bugs, though, so I have no problem killing them if I see them.
Yeah. Throw them in the microwave or something. All right, we're going to be right back with another check of your weather when we return.
It's a good idea. So we've got some clear skies to start the day, but that is going to change as the day goes on. We're going to get to all of that here in just a second. Right now, though, 68 degrees in Joplin under those clear skies. We've got nice temperatures, a little bit warmer than what we've seen, but still nice. 66 Sedan, 69 Independence, 65 in Miami, and 68 in Carthage to start the day. As the kids get on the bus this morning, about 7 a.m., start to see a few more clouds passing in, 66 degrees. When the bus comes back this afternoon around 3, clouds really start to build in, mostly cloudy skies, but it's also going to be hot today, 91 at 3 o'clock. As we head through the day, 87 by noon, 92 by 5, 86 at 8, and then maybe some isolated storm chances. It shouldn't ruin any football games, but these could pop up, so do make sure you're keeping an eye on the sky. Ultimate high today, 94 degrees. Now the clouds will stick with us, but rain chances break up for tonight. 77 at 11, 73 by 2, overnight low of 71, again under cloudy skies. Some isolated to wildly scattered thunderstorm chances on Saturday, and then better storm chances on Sunday with a high of 96 degrees. Otherwise, as you can see, staying hot. Now, this is Sunday early morning. Some of those storms left over, they'll hang out. We get a brief break, more build in as we head into Sunday night and into Monday. Another break. Looking at a possible complex to develop right around Kansas City and surge south toward us, bringing us more shower and thunderstorm chances. As we head through the weekend, of course, we've got those increasing chances. They hang out with us through most of the week. After a couple of days, they do start to bring the temperatures down, though, as we get back into the lower 90s and upper 80s. More of the KOAM Morning News coming up.
Coming up, a family stages a protest outside the Ottawa County Jail in Miami, Oklahoma.
A mild but clear start to the day, but we are tracking changes in the forecast. The latest just ahead.
And we take a look at the murals in Neosho, Missouri.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. It is a nice start to the day. We've had a lovely week so far. Then we got rain chances coming. I say that, but the rain chances aren't that bad. So right now in Joplin, we've got clear skies for now. Temperatures are pretty good. They're a bit more mild than what we've seen. 68. As we look across the area, catching my breath, I had to run back to our control room and talk to Tim, and then he announces to me I have 10 seconds, so I ran back down here. So running is just something I probably shouldn't do these days. 69 Yates Center, 68 in Iola, and 68 in Carthage and Greenfield as well. As kids get on the bus, 66 by 7 a.m. with some increasing cloud cover, partly cloudy skies. Then we really see the clouds build in this afternoon. Mostly cloudy at 3:91 as they get off the bus. We're going to warm up quite nicely today, afternoon high of 94, and then we're watching some isolated storm chances later this evening. It shouldn't wash out football games entirely, but if you're out tonight, do keep an eye on the sky. And then 77 at 11, 73 at 2 a.m., 71 overnight with mostly cloudy skies and still watching those scattered thunderstorm chances into the weekend. A little more isolated on Saturday, 98, and then better chances on Sunday with a high of 96. So we'll talk about the weekend forecast, the rain chances we're looking at, and how long they're going to stick around here in just a few minutes.
All right, sounds like we've got a lot to discuss.
It's like I said, it's always good when it's busy in the Weather Center because it beats me taking 5 seconds to come out here and say it's hot 12 different ways.
Which it's still going to be.
It's still going to be hot, but at least I've got something else to add to the hot.
There you go. All right, thanks, Chris. Well, an Afton, Oklahoma man is now federally indicted in a child porn case in May of 2021. Authorities arrested Glen Nichols in Delaware County on charges of aggravated possession of child porn and distribution of child porn. According to court documents, an investigation opened after an internet company flagged images of child exploitation. A judge convicted and sentenced Nichols to 10 years. Last week, prosecutors charged him in federal court because the victims are members of the Cherokee tribe. Family and friends of Terrell Brooks Ellis II stood outside the Ottawa County Courthouse on Thursday to get justice for the inmate who died in custody in 2015. Ellis's mother, Shelley Bliss, filed a lawsuit against the Sheriff's Department in 2017. Which is still in the court system and not resolved. In the lawsuit, Bliss alleges the nurse working for the jail did not provide medical care to her son.
We are here to protest all the deaths and that happened in Ottawa County, and this is also to help people that have been victimized here.
The protest will go again this morning in front of the Ottawa County Courthouse starting at 11 a.m. Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce and Crowder College celebrates the 5th anniversary of the Advanced Training and Technology Center. The partnership is geared toward developing the future workforce and helping new startups as they recognize past and present tenants and their stories. Officials say the pair partnered up to train people for skilled jobs.
So what Crowder College does in the facility, we train welders, we have drafting, we've started a surge tech program, a lot of things that the community has asked us to do, and the Joplin Chamber allows us to use the facility for those classes.
Officials say in the past 5 years, 140 jobs have been created from the programs. Last night was back to school night at the open house for the YA Academy of Dance, and what better way to celebrate it than with free dance classes, food, and shopping for dance clothes. The event gave new and current students the chance to meet their instructors and also help parents meet the new management. The Academy is open to anyone who is willing to give dance a try.
Yeah, I think there is gymnastics and dance classes for anyone, and I think it's always worth a try. It's something that teaches you discipline, but also strength, and it's just fun. You know, you can meet new friends. There's lots of different ways that you can be active, and I think this is a really great outlet for kids.
Well, run, eventually, handstands eventually, hand flips, and back handsprings eventually.
I'm sure she'll get there. The Academy is now fully staffed after being short-staffed a few years ago. Murals are something drivers will almost always stop by to look at. Neosho offers this form of art on its pavilion, and the one you're seeing now was created by a Neosho resident herself. The murals symbolize activities in Big Spring Park.
The murals represents what the parks offer. They are painted on the murals, have disc golf person playing disc golf. There's so many things that the parks offer. It offers disc golf, it offers fishing, it offers swimming.
The artist spent several weeks, including in the hot weather in July, to finish the murals. And officials with the City of Neosho and Missouri Department of Transportation will be celebrating the completion of Neosho's newest bridge with a ribbon cutting. On September 1st, Kohler Street Bridge will be completed, and the ribbon cutting is actually scheduled for August 30th. An official says the original bridge was too low, which caused flooding concerns, so the new bridge has an arch to mitigate the issue.
Of course, it's built back now. We had to build them back twice, in the last 5 years. But that is why we feel this bridge is that important. Hopefully. I'm not going to say it's going to just do away with flooding, but it should help.
Ribbon cutting on August 30th will be held at 10 a.m.
All right, quick check into the future on the future track here. This is Sunday morning. We get some, we get some of those isolated to widely scattered storms Saturday. They increase in coverage late Saturday, early Sunday. Little bit of a break, which allows us to heat up. And then as we head into overnight Sunday and the Monday, more shower and thunderstorm chances. They're watching the possibility of a complex around the Kansas City metro to surge south toward the area as we head into Tuesday morning, bringing us more shower and thunderstorm chances. And a look at the 7-day shows where those thunderstorm chances hang out with us all week long. But they do bring the temperatures down. So a few hot days ahead of us, then we're talking lower 90s and even upper 80s as we head into the next work week.
Get those temperatures down. That's all we need.
Exactly.
Well, that's a look at this morning's top stories in weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, we meet a man who sculpts things from butter. Yeah, you heard me right. Butter.
Plus, a man is arrested for causing a security incident outside the Chicago FBI office.
And as your dog ages, his cognitive function declines. We'll explain why. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch this morning, Oklahoma executes the first of 25 death row inmates the state intends to put to death through the year 2024. 50-year-old James Coddington was sentenced to die for murdering a man in 1997. He was executed on Thursday after Republican Governor Kevin Stitt denied his request for clemency. Opponents have been critical of the state's plan to execute more than half of the 43 inmates on death row between now and December of 2024 due to lingering concerns about inmates' innocence or mental fitness, and also the state's recent history of botched lethal injections. That prompted officials to put executions on hold to review capital punishment in the state. The state resumed executions last October. Flooding was so severe in Mississippi, more than 100 children had to be rescued. Volunteers and deputies responded to a daycare in Florence where rising waters trapped people inside. They used high water rescue vehicles to evacuate 104 children and 14 workers from the Railroad Center daycare. No injuries were reported. And authorities say the person behind a security incident at an Illinois FBI office is now in custody. The Federal Protective Service reports Thursday someone jumped a security fence at the FBI field office in Chicago, threw rocks at the building. No one was hurt. They say the person was taken to a hospital for evaluation. No motive was given for the suspect's action, nor would officials say if charges will be filed. This incident comes as the FBI reportedly investigates an unprecedented number of threats against its personnel and property in the aftermath of the agency's search of former President Donald Trump's Florida home, Mar-a-Lago. A recent joint bulletin from the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security warns of violent threats against federal law enforcement and others. And a federal judge sets a trial date for a former U.S. Navy engineer and his wife accused of trying to sell classified information about Navy submarines to a foreign government. Jonathan and Diana Toby's trial date is January 17th. A judge rejected plea agreements for both of them last week, saying the agreed upon sentences were strikingly deficient and did not match the severity of the alleged crimes. They subsequently withdrew their guilty pleas and asked for a trial date. The Tobys are accused of coordinating 3 separate drop-offs of SD cards containing classified information about nuclear submarines. They were allegedly given thousands of dollars in cryptocurrency for the information, which they believed was going to a foreign government, but it was actually an FBI sting operation. Well, 2 of Paul Newman's daughters are suing the legendary actor's namesake foundation. Susan and Nell Newman accuse the Newman's Own Foundation of not giving enough funds to the charities of their choice. Foundation has permission to use the movie star's name and likeness if each of Newman's daughters is given $400,000 per year to be donated. According to the suit, the foundation recently cut that amount in half. Spokesperson for Newman's Own called this a, quote, meritless lawsuit. The Newman daughters are seeking $1.6 million in damages, which they've earmarked for charities. That's a look at today's top national stories. We'll be right back with another look at your forecast after this.
All right, we have got some changes in the forecast to discuss, so we're going to get right into it. We're watching increasing clouds today and maybe an isolated late day storm. So if you have some football games, do keep an eye to the sky. These will be very isolated, not widespread, but just watch out in case. Then we're watching some scattered and isolated storms on Saturday, and then the storm chances are really going to increase as we head into next week. Right now, it's 7th in range line. Sun's starting to come up. We've got mostly clear skies to start the day, as you can see, and temperatures are a pinch milder than they were yesterday, but not bad still. 68 in Joplin, and as we look across the area, we got 69 Yates Center, 70 in Chanute, 67 in Columbus and Pittsburgh, and 64 down in Anderson. Not a bad start to the day still. Pinch milder, but still not bad. As the kids get on the bus about 7 a.m., we'll have some partly cloudy skies, 66 degrees. When the bus brings them home later today, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies, but a hot one, 91 at 3 o'clock. And as we go through the rest of the day, it's going to heat up nicely. We're talking 87 by noon, 92 by 5. And then this is this evening, unfortunately, right around game time, we may see an isolated storm or two. Otherwise, 86, afternoon high of 94 with those mostly cloudy skies. No storm chances overnight right now. We got mostly cloudy skies through the evening, 77 at 11, 73 by 2, with an overnight low of 71. We'll have the isolated to widely scattered storms Saturday, 98 for a high, 96 on Sunday, and that's when our storm chances start to increase, which you can see here. This is Sunday, 5 a.m., more shower and thunderstorm chances. You can see the computer data just updated dissipated. And then as we head into Sunday evening and into Monday, more shower and thunderstorm chances on top of us. And then the cold front really starts to set off more shower and thunderstorm activity as we head into Tuesday. That'll sweep across the area. Doesn't do a lot for temperatures, but it does bring us some much needed rain. So let's talk about going into next week. We get to 95 on Monday, 90 on Tuesday, 91 Wednesday, 89 Thursday. But as you can see as well, thunderstorm chances hang out with us all week long, and overnight lows hover right around 70 degrees for the most part. Well, it's the end of an era in Minnesota. The woman who carved the likeness of pageant winners out of butter for 5 decades has retired. But don't worry, some new talent filling her slippery shoes. John Lawrenson has the story.
This is promoting dairy products and all the hard-working farmers out there.
Promoting the dairy industry is one thing. Getting to be the State Fair butter sculptor is another. It's an honor that Jerry Kulzer doesn't take for granted.
You get a little bit of pressure. A lot of pressure, yeah. We've got to get a portrait of a person done in this case, 2 days.
And as he works on this big block of butter, he's also filling some big shoes. Sculptor Linda Christensen carved dairy princesses for 50 years. She essentially trained Jerry in last year. Now she's retired and giving Jerry a chance to carve out his own legacy.
They gave me a 90-pound block of butter and I had to carve a likeness. They liked what they saw and called me back.
Working in front of an audience and in a 40-degree refrigerator, Jerry is making a bust of Rachel Rinda, this year's Princess K winner. Normally a clay sculptor, Jerry has to layer up for this type of art.
I've got 3 layers overall, everything, and then a rain suit here. So the butter just kind of falls off and I can wash off at the end and it doesn't soak in.
While he jokes that he won't do this as long as his predecessor did, he's going to enjoy it as long as he can.
I can't describe how much fun this is. This is the ultimate. To be able to sit with a princess and talk and learn her background, talk with the finalists is so fun.
Now, it wasn't an easy gig to get. Jerry beat out 5 other contenders to get the job. He'll make more than a dozen butter sculptures while at the fair. We're back with Healthwatch right after this.
Topping Healthwatch this morning, a new study published in Scientific Reports finds cognitive function declines as dogs age. For dogs older than 10 years, the risk of developing canine cognitive dysfunction, or CCD, increases by more than 50% with each added year of life. Animals affected may show memory deficits, loss of spatial awareness, altered social interactions, and sleep disruption. Researchers from the European Society of Cardiology found that poor sleep is associated with a higher likelihood of heart disease and stroke. The authors estimate that 7 in 10 of these cardiovascular conditions could be prevented if everyone was a good sleeper. Their study showed 9 in 10 people do not get a good night's sleep. In a small, first-of-its-kind study, researchers from City University London found new fathers felt isolated and a sense of loss because of restrictions on maternity care brought on by COVID-19. Changes to daily living during the pandemic helped family relationship building, which improved long-term father-baby bonding. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
We've got an absolutely beautiful sunrise to start the day right now. As you can see, I mean, just look at the colors in the sky. They look very, very nice. And we've got good temperatures to go along with it. Now, what you do see in the horizon, too, are some extra clouds. So it's still technically clear in Joplin right now, 68 degrees. We've got 60s across the board. We're looking at 67 for Donia, 70 in Chanute as the warm spot, 66 Columbus, and 63 in Anderson as we start the day. And as the kids get on the bus, it's going to be partly cloudy because we're going to see a few more clouds come in by 7 a.m. 66 degrees when the bus brings them home around 3 o'clock this afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies and 91. So as we go through the day, it's going to be another hot one. It's going to be hotter than it was yesterday too, 94. So we're looking at 87 by noon, 92 by 5 under mostly cloudy skies. And then right around, unfortunately, game time tonight, we're looking at the possibility of an isolated storm or two. We're not talking a widespread rain event, but if you are out at the games, just keep an eye on the sky, be prepared, but this is going to be very isolated if we see many at all. 77 at 11, 73 by 2 a.m., mostly cloudy overnight with an overnight low of 71. Isolated to widely scattered storms on Saturday, 98 the high, and then better storm chances Sunday with a high of 96. So you can see as we head Saturday night into Sunday, we get a few more of those scattered storms across the area. We get a break, we get hot, and then as we head into Monday, late Sunday night rather, and into Monday morning, more shower and thunderstorms begin to develop along this front, and then you can definitely make out the outline of the front as more shower and thunderstorm activity carries us Monday night into Tuesday morning, and then it clears out, we warm up briefly, and then we have more shower and thunderstorm activity coming our way, which you'll see in the 7-day forecast. We're looking at 95 on Monday, 90 on Tuesday, 91 Wednesday, 89 Thursday. So decent temperatures once we get past Monday. But as you can see, thunderstorm chances stick with us for the rest of this weekend and in most of next week as well. But it also keeps our temperatures back down around 70 degrees. So not bad overnight. And really, once we get through a few hot days, not bad for the week ahead. More of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Coming up, a family stages a protest outside the Ottawa County Jail in Miami, Oklahoma.
Rain chances still on the way. Not as much rain being expected. We're going to talk about all of that, though, here in just a few minutes.
And we take a look at the murals in Neosho, Missouri.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is 6:28. I'm Tanya Buck.
I'm Chris Warner. So you saw in that graphic, the rain chances have been, the amount of rain, let me rephrase this. The amount of rain has been scaled back a bit. And of course, that's going to change quite a bit over the next few days as the computers all, do their processing and think about what the rain's going to do. One thing we do know is, first off, whatever you've got here smells pretty good.
I'm eating some French cucumber and onions.
It smells good. Here's the deal. Like, I'm looking at it. For me personally, I don't think I'd eat it. It looks a little too odd for me. Maybe it's just because it's a little too healthy and my body just rejects healthy stuff.
You had to point out that I was eating, but yeah, it is really yummy.
Well, yeah, but sorry, we have to have breakfast at some point. I mean, who in the world gets up in the morning, regardless of what time, and just immediately eats? Nobody. That's who.
My children.
Okay, Tim says he does. Tim's crazy.
My children do. They go straight
to
the,
and so do
straight
kids.
to the kitchen. Kids
and apparently Tim, our director, eat immediately when they wake up. I can't do that. I'll get sick to my stomach if I eat too early. I've got to wait an hour or two. When you take into the account, like I'm coming from Joplin, so I've got a bit of a drive to get here, so there's no time to eat, so you just kind of have to do it. You do it when you can, as you can. We don't want to die, and I don't think our bosses want us to keel over in the middle of the newscast because we didn't eat breakfast. They're watching at home, and all of a sudden they might be a little concerned.
Yes, they would. Yes.
On the other hand, they may be like, hey, listen, can't be doing that on the desk.
No, don't die on my desk.
You can't die on the desk. If you're going to do that, you do it somewhere outside. I'm kidding.
Go over to the weather center.
Our bosses are great, though. Really, they really are. So that's something we're very grateful for here. They would genuinely be concerned. Nice sunrise, 7th and range line. Temperatures are decent too. 68 degrees in Joplin right now. We've got 60s and even a 70 on the board. That's in Chanute at 70, 65 in the ocean. As we go to get on the bus, we're looking at partly cloudy skies at 7 with 66. The bus comes back. It's going to be a hot one under mostly cloudy skies with 91. Ultimate high today of 94, and then maybe an isolated storm or two this evening. Unfortunately, right during the football games. But I really want to emphasize, these are isolated storm chances. We're talking there may be 1 or 2 in our entire area. So don't freak out. Don't get worried about the games tonight. Just keep an eye to the sky. Be weather aware. But these are going to be very isolated storms. We're going to talk more about what the weekend holds and some rain chances and how long they're going to stick around here in just a few minutes because I spent all my time talking about your breakfast and dying on the desk.
Yes. All right, we'll get to that. Not the dying part.
I was going to say, we're getting to the dying on the desk part?
No.
I'll work on it for you.
All right, thanks, Chris. All right, an Afton, Oklahoma man is now federally indicted in a child pornography case. In May of 2021, Glen Nichols was arrested in Delaware County on charges of aggravated possession of child porn and distribution of child porn. According to court documents, an investigation opened after an internet company flagged images of child exploitation. A judge convicted and sentenced Nichols to 10 years. And last week, prosecutors charged him in federal court because the victims are members of the Cherokee tribe. Visit Joplin launches a new website, the purpose to enrich guest experience. The website features more appealing and larger graphics, larger text prints, and improved ease of use. Officials say it helps promote tourism in the Joplin area.
The website is designed to give people the tourism information for Joplin, and our goal is always to get them to visit Joplin, but also come back more frequently and stay longer when they come. You know, a lot of our new residents in Joplin were guests first, and in a lot of cases that's the case that they went through visitjoplinmo.com to learn what we had to offer, and from there they plan their experience and visit Joplin.
Officials say the website is active, working, and free for all to use. The website is visitjoplinmo.com. Murals are something drivers will almost always stop by to look at. Neosho offers this form of art on its pavilion, and the one you're seeing now was created by a Neosho resident herself. The murals are a symbol of what Big Spring Park has to offer.
It offers fishing, it offers swimming, we got a skate park, we have soccer fields, we have ball fields. We just want people to see and realize what all Neosho has down here in our parks, and truly invite people from sister cities to come and see what we have.
The artist spent several weeks, including in the hot weather in July, to finish the murals. Well, a protest is held in front of the Ottawa County Courthouse yesterday. KOAM's Carrie Worthen reports on alleged inmate mistreatment.
We're here to get justice and maybe to get some change.
Family and friends of Terrell Brooks Ellis II stood outside the Ottawa County Courthouse today to get justice for the inmate who died in custody in 2015. Ellis's mom filed a lawsuit against the Sheriff's Department in 2017, which is still in the court system and not resolved.
Honestly, my heart goes out to the family. If it was my son, I'd be upset too. But I don't know all the ins and outs of it. I just know that I'm listed on a litigation now because I'm the sheriff.
In the lawsuit, Bliss alleges the nurse working for the jail did not provide medical care to her son. Sheriff Dean was not in office at the time of his death, but says there have been changes.
Instead of just one nurse, we have a company called Turnkey that does the medical. So that kind of helps that, where they pass the meds. They've got a provider that if somebody gets sick or something, we let them see the provider.
One supporter in the crowd, Ruth Eads, is the mother of a jailer working the night of Ellis's death.
You know what? We are a small town. We need to protect the people in this town. And if somebody comes in that jail and turns herself in to make their life right and turn themselves around, they should be allowed to do that without dying.
But this protest is not only about one inmate.
This is also to help people that have been victimized here. Some have been raped and other things.
The protest will go again tomorrow morning in front of the Ottawa County Courthouse starting at 11 a.m.
I want justice for our town. I'm tired of watching people die. I'm tired of being afraid in my own town. I just want to see us cleaned up here. I want to see people treated like people, humans.
In Miami, Carrie Worthen, KOAM News.
In October 2015, Ellis turned himself in on an Ottawa County warrant for failure to appear in court months earlier on a DUI charge. We want to mention that the second protest is today, not tomorrow. It's scheduled for today at 11 a.m. at the courthouse.
Speaking of today and into the weekend, so today it's going to be hot, maybe an isolated storm. This weekend, however, we've got mostly cloudy skies, 98 Saturday with some isolated, widely scattered storms. Storm chances pick up this weekend, or into Sunday rather, with a high of 96. You can see Saturday night into Sunday morning, some of those scattered storms break, so we heat up, and then more storms as we head into Sunday evening and Monday overnight, and then you can very clearly see a cold front outline on there where the showers and thunderstorms pick up Sunday night into Monday and last all the way into Tuesday as well. In fact, we got a bit of a wet week ahead of us.
That's right. Well, that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Our very own Shannon Becker stops by the studio to talk about his Big 3 stories of the week.
Plus, a Missouri school is introducing corporal punishment back into its schools. Today, we want to know, would you allow a school official to spank your child? I'll let you weigh in. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. You know, it's Friday, and we've got Shannon Becker in studio here to share his big 3 stories online.
That's right. You find them on our website, KOAM News Now. Here's number 3 this week, the most talked about stories online, what everybody is watching and sharing. The Ottawa County Jail disturbance. It was the other night. About 5 inmates, as Sheriff Dean tells us, kind of were upset about a phone kiosk that was broke, and it was taking a little long to fix. And so then they stirred up one pod and stirred up another pod, another. So anyway, one person was injured, transported to an area hospital with just minor non-life-threatening injuries. And it was a big showing, though. A lot of people were wondering what was happening. I counted like there were 30 different vehicles there with lights and crime
At
scene.
least like 8 or 9 different agencies.
Yeah, oh yeah, there were so many. I tried to read them on every one of the vehicles, but it was a lot. But once again, nobody injured seriously, just minor injuries. Number 2 story, Joplin News First, at KOAM News Now. Baxter Springs, this was last Friday. Oh, it was so epic. Cool. It was super, super cool. It was an Air Force pilot. He's a native of Baxter Springs, and he got to fly over town. Took 2 sweeps. This is right down Military. It was so cool because as I was filming this live, the shadow like went right over us. You could see it across the whole. It was really, really cool. The
what
C-17,
elevation is he flying at?
1,600 feet.
1,600 feet?
Yeah, 1,600 feet. Wow. The elevation there, and then also, there's just so many cool things about it, I thought. But the C-17 is one of the biggest cargo planes that Air Force has. Yes. And then our number 1 story. Garth Brooks tickets, they're on sale today. It was last week's bonus story. This week it was number 1. Everybody's talking about this.
Today's the day they go on sale?
Yeah, today's the day they go on sale. Garth Brooks tickets, I think it's 10 a.m. More details, you can go to our website. The link is there at KOAM News Now. It's going to be at the new Amphitheater at Thunder Ridge. They've been working on an expansion there. It's owned by Bass Pro Shops and Big Cedar Lodge. And so the capacity there is going to be 50,000 now. It overlooks Table Rock Lake, and in the distance you can see the Boston Mountains in Arkansas. So that's going to be amazing. First artist to play there at the newly expanded place there.
Open with that Thunder Rolls.
Oh, look at you. You should be in marketing. And then our bonus story of the week. An Ewart Park stabbing. This was a couple of weeks ago, but charges have been filed now for a 23-year-old Joplin man listed as homeless. And he has been charged with armed criminal action and other charges. It's the same charges that a man received just July 4th a year ago for Ewart Park stabbing. He stabbed a man a year ago. That's a different guy, but he just was sentenced to 11 years in prison.
Wow.
Which is, I don't know really, I know there's a lot of things going on at Ewart Park after hours, so stay away from the park. But then the skate park is right across the creek from there, where the kids are all at. So here's a Joplin man in 2021 that is he pled guilty to a stabbing. He didn't get convicted. So watch out.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's our bonus story of the week. KOAM News Now, Joplin News First. If I could get that story out. Whew.
There you go.
I think I was going to
we
get it out
appreciate
there.
everything that you do, and we'll have you back on our Fox show.
I'll be there. All right.
All right. We'll be right back. We take this time to honor today's 4-state hero, Frank Warren. Staff Sergeant Warren served in the Army from 1942 to 1945. He served in France and in England, and during his service he earned the Purple Heart, among several other medals. A native of Pittsburgh, Kansas, we thank you today's 4-state hero, Frank Warren.
It is time for some Finally Friday, Finally Fun Day birthdays in the 4 states, and we begin in Orinoco with Tanner Jimenez, who is turning 1 year old today. What an incredible first birthday. And then here's the deal. To Tanner's parents, I'm sure you know this, they're going to grow up so fast. I mean, it seems like only yesterday our kids were in the months area, and now all of a sudden they're much older.
No,
so
he's a
enjoy it
little
while
cutie,
it
too.
lasts. Tanner, happy birthday to you.
All right, out in St. Paul, Carly Jo Beechner celebrating birthday number 2 this year. Looks like she's been having some fun in the water this summer. Happy birthday, Carly Jo.
Been a good summer for that too. We also have Kevin Phillips oh, I love his suit and his tie there, his shirt and tie. He looks absolutely handsome. Kevin Phillips celebrating birthday number 5 in Riverton.
Timber Robinson celebrating birthday number 8 this year. Pretty dress that she's in there. Timber is in Nevada with birthday love coming from mom and dad.
We're going just to the south in Jasper, where Bridget Hill is turning 9 years old today. Birthday wishes coming from Mom, Dad, Gatlin, Grandma, Papa, Nana, and Grandpa. So it sounds like Bridget's going to have one heck of a birthday celebration today. Happy birthday to you, Bridget.
All right, in Frontenac, turning 11 years old this year. It's time to celebrate for Easton. Jesse, hope you have a great day.
And we've got Drew Johnson celebrating birthday number 12, taking an incredible school photo there. And that's good that he does that, because I've seen some of the kids, you know, they make those weird faces and then the parents don't like the pictures. But Drew did the right thing, took a great picture. Happy 12th birthday to you.
All right, Colton Meisner celebrating birthday number 19 this year. Colton is in Chanute.
And we've got Jessica Honschel turning 35 in Carthage this year. Jessica, happy birthday to you.
All right, Sean Doty celebrating birthday number 35. Thank you for your service there, Sean, I can tell. In Stella, Missouri, with love from your wife, Jerica.
Now that photo's a pinch on the dark side, but I'm pretty sure Sean's got the classic fireman mustache in that photo. You can't be a fireman without the stash.
I think you're right.
I'm telling you, and that's a good-looking photo there and a great-looking mustache. Sean, happy birthday to you. Gail Hamblin celebrating birthday number... Oh, look at that. That's a great picture, too. Gail Hamblin celebrating birthday number 56 in Pittsburgh. Happy birthday to you, Gail.
And that is Gail on the left there.
I would hope so.
Yes. And we've got Brian Joy celebrating birthday number 56 this year. Brian is out in Altoona. Have a great weekend.
And we're switching to Virgil Wynn celebrating birthday number 75. Look at him in his Colgan Letterman's jacket. Now that is awesome. Birthday 75 for Virgil Wynn. And this comes from Brandy Dale and everyone at the Knights of Columbus Towers. Happy birthday.
All right. And let's see, we've got Richard Mason. Happy birthday from the entire family. Richard is in Girard celebrating birthday number 81 this year.
And we've got LaDonna Smith down in Columbus celebrating a birthday today as well. LaDonna, happy birthday to you.
All right, our birthday list goes on. Diana Carter in Pittsburgh. Happy birthday to you. Barbara Frank celebrating in Columbus. Alice Musa celebrating a birthday in Cherokee, and in Scammon, Leela Grant. Happy birthday to you.
We've also got Kay. I'm going to mess this last name up, Kay. I'm so sorry, but I believe it's Amex. Kay Amex celebrating in Columbus. We've got Bob Robinson turning 85 in Baxter Springs, and Karen Normand celebrating a birthday in Frontenac. A happy birthday to you all.
All right, and if you have a birthday or an anniversary, you can send them to us at birthdays@KOAMTV.com or go to birthdays@KOAMNewsNow.com and submit them.
And while you're there, there's something else you absolutely have to do, and that is sign up for the KOAM Birthday Club. You get special deals from local businesses, so make sure you go check it out at KOAMNewsNow.com and sign up for the KOAM Birthday Club. So this morning, we're discussing the return of corporal punishment. The school district in Cassville, Missouri is bringing back spanking as a form of punishment. The school adopted the policy this year of, quote, swatting buttocks with a paddle. If other forms of punishment have failed, then parents have opted in to allow it. Despite school officials saying this would be a last option, some parents do not agree with the decision. One parent said if a child is going to be punished, it should be up to the parents. Another said he didn't see a problem with corporal punishment. As of 2016, school corporal punishment was legal in 19 states. That includes Missouri and Kansas and Oklahoma, though it's rarely used in Oklahoma, and the option is up to individual districts in Arkansas. So our question to you, would you allow a school official to spank your child? You can vote yes or no. And so far, 52% of you say yes, 48% say no, so almost an even split there. Make sure you vote on our website, KOAMNewsNow.com. Do so in the app, and of course, take part in discussion on our Facebook page. Nice sunrise today as we get the day started, but you can see some high clouds out there. There's a precursor as to what's to come. We're eventually going to have more of those clouds. 68 under clear skies as we start the day. 70 is the warm spot in Chanute, 68 Independence, 66 Columbus, 65 in Monette and Cassville. As kids get on the bus, which they are set to do so approximately approximately in 9 minutes, depending on your district. It's going to be 66 with some increasing clouds, partly cloudy skies. We're going to have mostly cloudy skies build in this afternoon, 91 at 3 o'clock under those mostly cloudy skies. A hot one in store for us today, 94 the high, 87 at noon, 92 by 5 with increasing cloud cover. And then we are watching right around game time some isolated storm chances. We're not talking widespread, we're talking 1 or 2. But do keep an eye to the sky if you're out at any football games this evening. Otherwise, just cloudy. 71 for the overnight low tonight under, again, mostly cloudy skies. And as we head into the weekend, isolated to widely scattered storms Saturday with a high of 98, and then better storm chances Sunday with a high of 96. More of the KOAM Morning News after this.
Before you head out the door, an Afton, Oklahoma man is now federally indicted in a child porn case. Authorities arrested Glen Nichols in May of 2021 in Delaware County on charges of aggravated possession of child porn and distribution of child porn. According to court documents, an investigation opened after an internet company flagged images of child exploitation. A judge convicted and sentenced Nichols to 10 years. Last week, prosecutors charged him in federal court because the victims are members of the Cherokee tribe. Family and friends of Terrell Brooks Ellis II stood outside the Ottawa County Courthouse on Thursday to get justice for the inmate who died in custody in 2015. Ellis's mother, Shelley Bliss, filed a lawsuit against the Sheriff's Department in 2017, which is still in the court system and not resolved. In the lawsuit, Bliss alleges the nurse working for the jail did not provide medical care to her son. Protest will happen again this morning in front of the Ottawa County Courthouse starting at 11 a.m. Murals are something drivers will almost always stop by to look at, and Neosho offers this form of art on its pavilion. And the one you're seeing now was created by a Neosho resident herself. Murals are a symbol of what Big Spring Park has to offer. And officials with the City of Neosho and the Missouri Department of Transportation will be celebrating the completion of Neosho's newest bridge with a ribbon cutting. On September 1st, Kohler Street Bridge will be finished. The ribbon cutting is actually scheduled on August 30th. An official says the original bridge was too low, which caused flooding concerns, so the new bridge has an arch to mitigate the issue. The ribbon cutting on August 30th will be held at 10 a.m. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And a quick check of the forecast as you head out the door. We're going to see increasing clouds, 87 at noon, 92 at 5, and then maybe some isolated storms late this evening. We're talking right around football game time, but I want to stress again, these are isolated. We're talking maybe 1, 2, 3 storms, so don't panic, but do keep an eye to the sky. We've got a high of 94, so pretty hot today. Clouds stick around through the night, 77 at 11, 73 by 2 a.m., overnight low of 71 degrees. As we head into the weekend, we're watching widely scattered storms on Saturday with a high of 98. Storm chances increase as we head into Sunday with a high of 96, and then those storm chances hang out with us through most of next week as well. They progressively bring the temperatures down back into the lower 90s and even some upper 80s with lows hanging out around 70.
Well, coming up today at noon, we're making pull-apart coffee cake in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
He always says something interesting. It always grabs my interest.
Love coffee cake.
Well, your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. And up next, a successful NASA test flight would put the U.S. one step closer to landing astronauts on the moon in 2025. On CBS Mornings, why NASA's Inspector General believes the space agency needs to spend its money more effectively on its moon missions.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. And this morning, Shannon Becker returns to the studio to share his big 3 stories of the week.
Plus, we've got the latest video game news in today's Game On. But that's going to wrap it up for us for now. We'll see you back here Monday morning at 5 a.m.
And we're going to do it again today at noon.